Welcome back. Today we will learn about the explosive consequences heading Sophia's way as her web of deception finally begins to crumble in Salem. The young schemer who manipulated both Holly and Tate through months of calculated lies is about to face the most devastating punishment of her life, and the fallout will shake the very foundations of Salem's tight-knit community. Sophia's house of cards collapsing. Sophia Choi has spent months building an elaborate fortress of lies, but every deceptive brick is now tumbling down around her. Her calculated manipulation of Tate's paternal instincts and Holly's insecurities has reached its breaking point, with multiple Salem residents closing in on the truth about her abandoned baby boy. The consequences of her actions are mounting like storm clouds over Salem, and when the lightning finally strikes, Sophia will find herself completely defenseless against the emotional and legal devastation heading her way. Brady Black's relentless investigation has been methodically peeling back layers of Sophia's deception, while Steve Johnson's detective instincts have led him dangerously close to uncovering the entire conspiracy. The young woman who thought herself clever enough to outsmart everyone in Salem is discovering that her amateur scheming is no match for seasoned investigators who have spent decades unraveling complex mysteries. Dr. Sarah Horton's confession weighs heavily on her conscience, and despite doctor-patient confidentiality currently protecting Sophia, the mounting pressure from multiple angles suggests this protection won't last much longer. The mother's wrath and family destruction. Amy Choi's reaction to her daughter's manipulation will be nothing short of devastating when the full scope of Sophia's lies comes to light. The mother who believed she was supporting her daughter through a difficult pregnancy and adoption will discover that Sophia orchestrated an elaborate fraud involving fake adoption papers, fraudulent Chicago addresses, and a completely fictional narrative about giving birth to a baby girl. Amy's trust has been shattered beyond repair, and her disappointment will manifest as a punishment far more severe than any legal consequence Sophia might face. The family dynamics that once provided Sophia with unwavering support will transform into her greatest source of torment. Amy's realization that her daughter not only lied about the baby's fate but also manipulated legal documents and postal services will leave her questioning every aspect of their relationship. The emotional devastation of learning that her grandson was abandoned at a fire station while she believed he was safely placed with loving adoptive parents will create a chasm between mother and daughter that may never heal. Tate's betrayal and romantic consequences. Tate Black's discovery of Sophia's manipulation represents perhaps the most personally devastating aspect of her impending punishment. The young man who genuinely cared about finding his child and ensuring the baby's well-being will learn that Sophia has been using his paternal instincts as weapons against both him and Holly. His realization that every conversation, every intimate moment, and every kiss was part of Sophia's calculated scheme to destroy his relationship with Holly will transform his concern into absolute fury. The romantic consequences extend far beyond simple heartbreak, as Tate's anger will likely manifest in public confrontations that expose Sophia's manipulation to their entire social circle. His friends and classmates will witness the complete unraveling of Sophia's carefully constructed persona, leaving her socially isolated and emotionally devastated. The young woman who thought she could win Tate's heart through deception will instead become the object of his deepest contempt. Holly's justified revenge. Holly Jonas has endured months of psychological torment as Sophia systematically undermined her relationship with Tate, and her eventual retaliation will be swift and merciless. The revelation that every suspicious moment, every argument with Tate, and every night spent questioning their relationship was the result of Sophia's deliberate manipulation will unleash a fury that Salem hasn't witnessed in years. Holly's friends and supporters, including Ari Horton, have already begun recognizing the patterns of Sophia's manipulation, setting the stage for a devastating social exile. The confrontation between Holly and Sophia will likely become legendary in Salem's teenage circles, as months of suppressed anger and betrayal explode into an epic showdown. Holly's supporters will rally around her, creating a unified front against Sophia that will make her daily life in Salem unbearable. The psychological warfare that Sophia unleashed on Holly will return to her tenfold, as the truth transforms her from predator to prey in Salem's complex social ecosystem. Legal ramifications and Melinda's downfall. Melinda Trask's involvement in Sophia's deception has created a paper trail that investigators are rapidly following to its devastating conclusion. The fraudulent adoption documents, fake pregnancy props, and Chicago postal scheme represent serious legal violations that will likely result in criminal charges for both women. Melinda's professional reputation and legal career face complete annihilation as her role in facilitating Sophia's deception becomes public knowledge. The legal consequences for Sophia herself could include charges related to fraud, child abandonment, and conspiracy, depending on how prosecutors decide to handle her case. Her age might provide some protection, but the premeditated nature of her deception and the involvement of legal documents suggest that authorities will take a serious approach to her punishment. The young woman who thought she could manipulate the system will discover that Salem's legal establishment has zero tolerance for schemes that endanger children and deceive grieving parents. Social exile and public humiliation. Salem's tight-knit community will turn against Sophia with unprecedented unity once her manipulation becomes public knowledge. The young woman who carefully cultivated relationships and alliances will find herself completely isolated as friends, classmates, and community members recognize the full extent of her deception. The social punishment will be particularly devastating for someone who thrived on attention and admiration from her peers. The public humiliation will extend beyond her immediate social circle as news of her scheme spreads throughout Salem's interconnected community. Local businesses, community organizations, and even casual acquaintances will learn about her manipulation, creating an environment where Sophia faces judgment and condemnation wherever she goes. The young woman who once walked through Salem with confidence and purpose will find herself skulking in shadows, avoiding the accusing stares and whispered conversations that follow her everywhere. The ultimate reckoning. Sophia's punishment represents more than simple justice for her individual crimes. It serves as Salem's collective rejection of manipulation and deception in all its forms. The community that initially sympathized with a young woman facing an unexpected pregnancy will feel betrayed and angry upon learning that their compassion was exploited for personal gain. The consequence extends beyond legal penalties to encompass complete social ostracism and the destruction of every relationship Sophia once valued. The irony of Sophia's situation lies in the fact that her punishment will be largely self-inflicted, as the very lies she used to manipulate others become the instruments of her own destruction. Salem's residents will witness a masterclass in how deception ultimately consumes those who practice it, as Sophia faces consequences that are both immediate and long-lasting. Her story will serve as a cautionary tale for future generations about the devastating price of manipulation and the inevitable triumph of truth over lies. Next, we will learn about the issue that is stirring up Salem in the upcoming 2 weeks, from September 22 through October 3. The streets, businesses, and even the deepest corners of the DiMera mansion are about to be filled with conflict, betrayal, surprising alliances, and some very tender moments. From Marlena Evans' heartbreaking breakdown to unexpected reunions, this is one of those stretches where the residents of Salem will be tested like never before. Let's walk through the drama piece by piece, so you know exactly what to expect. Marlena's breaking point. The highlight of this 2-week span comes with Marlena Evans, played by the legendary Deidre Hall, who faces a collapse that will send shockwaves through her family and friends. Marlena has always been Salem's rock, the woman people turn to when everything else falls apart. Yet now, under pressure, exhaustion, and perhaps some old demons resurfacing, she finds herself vulnerable. Her breakdown will not only frighten Belle and John but will also raise questions about whether her subconscious will once again lead her into strange dreamscapes. Rumors suggest that Marlena will relive her eerie, Queen of the Night visions, which could be a symbolic reflection of the darkness creeping back into Salem. The collapse is not just medical, it's deeply emotional, reminding fans that even the strongest characters can shatter when too much is placed on their shoulders. Belle and EJ, trapped together. Meanwhile, Belle Black and EJ DiMera are going to find themselves locked in an elevator when a massive power outage strikes the town. At first, the situation seems like a nuisance, but it quickly becomes a forced confrontation between two people who have spent months trying to outmaneuver one another. EJ, played with cold precision by Dan Furigal, has always been a master manipulator, while Belle, portrayed by Martha Madison, is far sharper than he often gives her credit for. Being stuck together in such close quarters with no escape means the truth about their grudges, suspicions, and secret motivations will come boiling to the surface. Some fans speculate that Belle may confront EJ about past manipulations regarding her family, while EJ could taunt her with DiMera ambitions. Whatever the case, this trapped encounter may set the stage for bigger confrontations in boardrooms and courtrooms once they are freed. The Titan DiMera struggles intensify. Corporate warfare is nothing new in Salem, but the week of September 22nd to 26th will bring it to new heights. At Titan and DiMera Enterprises, the battle for control and dominance is spiraling into open conflict. Xander, Philip, Brady, and Alex Kyriakis are all ready to claw their way to the top, and none of them are willing to back down. Heated boardroom debates will spill into personal attacks, with each man trying to prove his worth. Philip's return to power struggles, Brady's deep resentment toward anything DiMera related, Alex's ego-driven ambitions, and Xander's tendency to rely on brute force rather than finesse create an explosive mix. Salem's two most powerful families, DiMera and Kyriakis, are in the midst of a corporate war that could spill out into every part of the town. Viewers can expect heated arguments, shocking betrayals, and perhaps even someone sabotaging the companies from within. Paulina's push for Theo. On the personal side of things, Paulina Price is going to push her nephew Theo DiMera to take on a powerful new role within the DiMera empire. Paulina believes Theo's honesty and integrity are exactly what the company needs to stabilize itself after years of corruption and internal power grabs. However, Theo is reluctant, sensing that stepping into the lion's den could change him in ways he doesn't want. Still, Paulina's persistence may wear him down. She argues that the DiMeras need a leader who values morality over profit, but longtime fans know that the DiMera mansion has a way of corrupting even the most innocent souls. Theo's decision will not just affect him, it could also reshape the company's entire future and determine who holds true control in Salem's ongoing power struggles. Gabi's ambition, Tony's betrayal. Gabi Hernandez is another figure looking to rise within DiMera Enterprises. After Tony DiMera takes back control, Gabi sees an opening for herself to once again grab the CEO chair. But as always in Salem, nothing is ever straightforward. Behind her back, Tony may already be planning to betray her by putting Theo in charge instead. Gabi's hunger for power has always made her a dangerous player, and betrayal will only push her into more ruthless tactics. Expect Gabi to retaliate in ways that leave the DiMera family reeling, because if there's one thing Gabi never tolerates, it's being underestimated or pushed aside. This potential double-cross could reignite a DiMera war unlike anything Salem has seen in years. A citywide power outage. The event tying much of this chaos together will be a citywide blackout, plunging Salem into darkness. While many residents will see this as just an inconvenience, others will find their lives changing forever during those shadowy hours. Belle and EJ, as mentioned, will be trapped together. Marlena's health crisis will unfold in the middle of the darkness, adding urgency to her rescue. For others, like Xander and Sarah, the lack of light will create an entirely different mood, one that brings passion rather than fear. These outages often serve as plot devices in Salem to force characters into situations they cannot avoid, and this time will be no different. The blackout will be a turning point for multiple storylines, weaving together business feuds, personal betrayals, and intimate reconciliations. Sarah and Xander, rekindled passion. Few couples in Salem have had as complicated a history as Sarah Horton and Xander Kyriakis. After lies, betrayals, and heartbreak, many believed their relationship was beyond repair. Yet the darkness of the blackout seems to push them back together. Caught in an emotional moment, Sarah and Xander surrender to their passions, leading to a kiss that could very well spark a night of rekindled love. Whether this turns into a full reconciliation remains to be seen, but the chemistry between them is undeniable. Fans remember how deeply Xander hurt Sarah by hiding the truth about Phillips' attack, and forgiveness is not something that comes easily. But when two people share such a fiery connection, even the worst wounds can sometimes be healed. This blackout may serve as the reset button their relationship desperately needed. What it all means for Salem. The next 2 weeks on Days of Our Lives promise a perfect blend of corporate warfare, personal betrayals, emotional breakdowns, and romantic rediscoveries. Marlena's collapse could alter her role in Salem forever, Belle and EJ's elevator showdown might ignite a new rivalry, and Gabi's dashed ambition could unleash a storm of revenge. At the same time, moments of love, like those between Sarah and Xander, remind us that even in the darkest hours, Salem's residents continue to reach for connection and forgiveness. The DiMera and Kiriaki's family wars show no signs of ending, and with Theo caught in the middle, Paulina's insistence could reshape the future of the most powerful dynasty in town. And all of it is set against the eerie backdrop of a city without power, where truth, passion, and betrayal are revealed in the shadows. One thing is certain, these 2 weeks will keep fans on the edge of their seats, eager to see who will rise, who will fall, and who will surprise us all.